The Fishin' Magazine television series is brought to you by Ranger Boats. Still building them one at a time so you can fish hard, run strong, and rest easy. Bass Pro Shops. Quantum and Motor Guide, the choice of serious fishermen. L&L Marine Care products. Take the chore out of marine maintenance. Fishing hotspots, maps so good people ask for them by name. Pinpoint Network Fishing Systems, Daylight Corporation, the Fishing Hole in St. Louis, Missouri, and Central Pro-Am Association, the leader in Pro-Am bass tournaments. It's all come down to this. The tournament Central Pro-Am anglers have been working toward all year. The 1999 Ranger Mercury Pro-Am Championship. Now, the top 30 anglers in Central Pro-Am's pro and amateur divisions who've qualified for this tournament are through waiting and ready to begin 2 days of competition on demanding Table Rock Lake. All told, the championship qualifiers will be vying for cash and prizes totaling more than $125,000. The Pro Division winner will take home a 2000 Ranger 462 VS, Mercury 175 EFI outboard, and Ranger Trail trailer, along with a wealth of accessories, including a Motor Guide Tour Edition 781 trolling motor, Humminbird Zircom electronics, Pro Guide batteries, Mercury Marine prop, and right height jack plate. And to pull this first prize boat, the winner will receive the use of a 2000 Chevrolet extended cab pickup for 1 year from Davis Bar Chevrolet Pontiac. All this, plus products from Bass Pro Shops, Quantum, Solar Bat, Berkeley, Uncle Josh, and L&L Marine Care products, making a total prize package valued at $40,000. The runner-up in the Pro Division will win a 2000 Ranger Sport R80 with Mercury 150 EFI outboard and a multitude of other prizes with a total value of $23,500. While the Amateur Division winner takes home a 2000 Ranger Sport R73 equipped with a Mercury 115, Ranger Trail trailer, Motor Guide trolling motor, and Humminbird Zircom electronics, a total value of $18,500. As always, the championship field is an impressive one. It's headed by 1999 Pro Division Angler of the Year, Troy Akins, who's riding the crest of one of the greatest years in Central Pro-Am history. He won the Lake of the Ozarks Pro-Am in April, but he never finished out of the top 20 in any tournament. With a tournament victory and Angler of the Year honors already in hand, Akins would like nothing better than to win this tournament and complete the Central Pro-Am Triple Crown. Almost as consistent as Akins was 8-time championship qualifier Dave Barker. Barker finished second in the Angler of the Year standings, posted 4 top 20 finishes, and came close to winning at Dardanelle and Table Rock. Barker's won 6 Central Pro-Am events, including the 1995 championship. So there's no doubt he knows what to do when the money's on the line. Dave Krisenberry comes to the championship at the end of his best season ever. He started with strong finishes at Bull Shoals, Lake of the Ozarks, and Dardanelle, and the 1997 Pro Division Rookie of the Year just seems to keep getting better. Another angler to watch is Terry Thomas. Thomas has won 3 Central Pro-Am tournaments and ranks second on Central Pro-Am's all-time money list. So you can forget his slow start at the beginning of the year. Right now, momentum's on his side, and Thomas would like nothing better than to add a Pro-Am championship title to his long list of accomplishments. Another angler who suffered through a slump early in the year and then came on strong is Brian Snowden. After disappointing finishes in the first 3 tournaments, Snowden was the hottest angler on the Central Pro-Am circuit during the second half of the season. So watch for him to keep on rolling here. Jackie Davis tied Snowden for 4th place in the Angler of the Year standings, and he too came on strong late in the year. Davis has already won 4 Central Pro-Am tournaments, and he knows Table Rock well. So the combination could be right for him to win his 5th title right here. If you want a long shot, here's one to watch: Kevin Bowling. Bowling began fishing Central Pro-Am tournaments 10 years ago and qualified for the very first Pro-Am championship as an amateur. This year, he's qualified for the first time as a pro. Bowling's fished Table Rock all his life, and if he gets a break or two, he just might win all the marbles. This year, Kelly Power is making his third championship appearance, and there's every reason to believe this could be the year he wins it all. He managed to qualify for the championship while fishing only 4 events, so he's hitting on all cylinders. Besides that, he won the 1998 Fall Pro-Am on Table Rock, so he knows how to catch bass at this time of year. And finally, there's Jim Akins. He's qualified for every Pro-Am championship, and he won the very first one back in 1989, so he'd like nothing better than to win his second championship 10 years later, just for old time's sake. In the amateur division, favorites are hard to pick because their fate rests with the pro who controls where they fish. But if you look at consistency over the year and who can adjust best to meet the situation, then you have to look at Amateur Division Angler of the Year, Mike Smith. He's already won 2 Amateur Division titles, and this year he was in contention to win 3 more times. So you can expect him to be in the running here. Another angler with consistency credentials is Matt Carroll. He finished second to Smith in the Angler of the Year standings and came through with 3 top 20 finishes and finished 21st in 2 others. Carroll's never won a Central Pro-Am event, but this could be the one. Now, if you like odds-on favorites, then Bob Jorgensen's the angler for you. Over the past 2 years, he's fished 4 Central Pro-Am tournaments on Table Rock, and he's won 2 of them. In addition, he was in the running at Lake of the Ozarks and Dardanelle, so you can expect him to be a factor here. Finally, there's a quartet of anglers who've previously won tournaments and can never be counted out. The first is Ron Foss. Foss finished 3rd in the overall point standings after winning the Bull Shoals Pro-Am and registering top 20 performances in 3 other tournaments. Next is Paul Loveland. He won back-to-back tournaments in 1998, and although he didn't have as dramatic a year in 1999, he still finished 18th in the point standings and almost won at Dardanelle. Lee Owens came in 19th in the Angler of the Year standings and registered 2 top 20 finishes. But more important, he won the Amateur Division title at the 1998 championship, so he's proved he knows how to win the big one. Finally, there's Jerry Weisinger. Weisinger's made the championship all 3 years he's fished the Central Pro-Am circuit, and he's back again after coming through with top 20 finishes at Bull Shoals and Table Rock. But he won at Dardanelle in 1997, so he knows what needs to be done to go home victorious. Stay tuned to see how they all fare on day 1 of the Ranger Mercury Pro-Am Championship. We'll be right back. Top competitors, brought to you by Daylight Donuts, the best donuts around. Kelly Power won the Fall Pro-Am in 1998 by fishing a spinnerbait to catch bass suspended in the standing timber. And he can never be counted out of any tournament when he can catch fish his way.
Most of the fish that I was catching were suspended fish. They were in, up to 30 foot deep, but most of the fish were 5 to 15 foot deep. Basically, I was using a War Eagle spinnerbait. I was throwing a lot of shad colors and whites and things like that. I think the big key was I was using a 7.5 foot rod, and I was able to control the depth of the bait. And I think that that's the biggest key to these fish, is you've got to be able to control the depth of that bait and be consistent with it, or you won't get bit. And I think if that bait moves up and down too much, you get in and out of the strike zone.
On the morning of day 1, Troy Akins is out with the first flight and heads to an area in White's Branch where he's located bass suspended in cedar trees. Immediately, he and amateur partner Dave Schmecker begin catching fish. As always, Akins is relying on his old standby, a 1/4 ounce jig with green pumpkin trailer. And, as it almost always does, the combination is working for him. Over the past year, Akins has been one of the most consistent anglers in America. And this morning, everything is going his way. By mid-morning, he's nearing his limit and seems certain to be among the day 1 leaders. In practice, Joel Baker established a strong pattern, catching quality bass out of the tops of cedars with twin-tail grubs and tube baits. But Baker was concerned that a change in the weather might affect his pattern, and it seems his concerns were justified. This morning, Baker and many of the other competitors are finding that the bass that hit so consistently during practice are no longer biting. Finally, Baker lands a keeper on a spinnerbait, but it's clear that if he's going to win here, he's going to need an alternate plan. Jim Akins is doing what you can always count on him to be doing, pitching a jig around boat docks and in standing timber. He's getting strikes all right, but all the fish he's catching seem to be size impaired. If Akins is going to be in position to win his second championship title, he's going to need bigger fish than these. During practice, Dave Barker heard that some championship competitors were catching good fish on spinnerbaits, so he's tried diligently to get his fish to hit them, without success. Finally, Barker begins pitching a jig into the tops of the cedars, and immediately his fortunes begin to change. If he can keep rolling like this and come in with another little old limit, he might just come through with his second championship title. Mark Pitchford is fishing his second Pro-Am championship, and in practice he was successful in catching bass on spinnerbaits around boat docks. But so far this morning, the results have been disappointing. Finally, Pitchford switches to a buzzbait and begins working it around standing timber in the backs of small pockets. Right away, he starts catching fish, and soon he's well on his way to a limit. When the anglers return to the Kimberling Inn for the afternoon weigh-in, Lauren Moore is one of the first amateur division competitors to come to the scales.
2 bass, 3.69 pounds. That's your leader right now in the amateur division, Lauren Moore.
Next to weigh in is Jerry Weisinger.
Mr. Weisinger has qualified for a championship 3 times. He's won an amateur division title, won over $7,000 in career winnings, right at $8,000 with us. He's got 1 bass. Nobody in the amateur division's weighed in more than 2 so far today. Mr. Weisinger would like to win one of these titles. He's shaking his head there. Yes, I would. Whoa! That's a big fish in this tournament right now. 5.35 pounds. Mark it. There's a start, buddy. That's your leader right now in big bass, Jerry Weisinger.
A few minutes later, Bob Jorgensen challenges Weisinger's lead.
Bob's going to go to work 1 time. 2 times. Oh, we haven't had an amateur weigh-in more than 2. There's 3. There you go. Good job, Bob Jorgensen. 3 fish. Let's see if you're going to be a new leader right now. Think you are, maybe? No. 5.99 pounds. That'll get it. New leader in the amateur division, Bob Jorgensen.
In the pro division, the first to weigh in is Troy Akins.
The limit is 5, folks. He was our angler of the year. There's 2. They say it's tough out there. Our camera boat said it was hard to find anybody catching anything. There's 3. This is why he's the angler of the year. Where's Kathy at? Where's she at? There you are, right over there. There's 4. Troy has won over $50,000. He's got a limit. Over $50,000 with us. There's your 5th fish. That's a limit. Put your hands together. Troy Akins. Did you have a chance for a big fish today at all?
No, I didn't.
Oh, no. Let's see. Here we go. We've got a good sack of fish to get things started. Troy Akins. Double figures here. Settle them down there. 12.07 pounds. That's your leader in the pro division, Troy Akins.
Next is Dave Krisenberry.
2 fish. 3 fish. Well, these are awful small. I don't see them big old fish coming in. 4. There's some Kentuckies coming in. He's got the 5th fish. He's got a limit. Dave Krisenberry. You got the limit. How long did it take you to catch him?
All day.
All day, he says. All day. Now, so when did you put your last keeper in the live well?
Probably about 2 o'clock.
About 2 o'clock, so it's been a long hour waiting to come in then.
Okay.
Did you have a chance for a big fish at all?
No, I didn't.
Did not. No big bites. Here we go. He's got the limit. See what they weigh. I'm going to get Troy 9.08 pounds.
Then comes Dave Barker.
There's a nice one. 2 times, I believe, that he's went in the live well. There's a nice smallmouth. Dave, hold that spout in the yard and let her go. Nice smallmouth there. There's another nice brown bass from Table Rock Lake. He has a limit also. Has he got a kicker fish? That's what we want to see. There's another beautiful brown bass. Here we go, folks. Watch out in here. Troy Aikens still leading this tournament. We'll see what Mr. Toledo says in here. 12.38 pounds. That's a new leader in the pro division.
Well, I expected it to be a tough day, but a lot of the fellows have been catching fish real good on spinnerbait and topwaters, but I haven't been successful at doing that. I tried that a while this morning, then I went to moved to some deeper ledgy banks and started throwing a small jig. And I had about 6 or 7 bites, and I caught 5 fish, and I was fortunate to get the 5 that I caught.
A few minutes later, it's Jackie Davis's turn.
There you go. That's 3. Leading the pro division right now, 12.3 something. There's 4. Big 5-pounder right now. We'll get everybody to buzzing, Mr. Davis. There's 5. That's your limit. Oh, good job, sir. Jackie Davis. Got to break 12.38. Take the lead away from Mr. Barker.
Let's hope they weigh 10 pounds.
You just hope they weigh 10 pounds, all right? It's a tough old bite out there.
It was really tough. I just had 5 keepers on today and struggled all day. We caught several fish, but about 1:30 they quit biting. And we had about 4 or 5 that just almost measured, but it was tough.
Call the way here for him, see what we got. Like I say, you're right on the money. Hoping they'd make it. They didn't. 9.37 pounds. Mark it. Jackie Davis. Good job, sir.
Next is Kevin Bowling.
I know how excited you are to be at this championship. You've worked so hard at it. Got yourself a limit.
I got real lucky. The fish really moved today, and I think that's evident by the lack of limits coming in. They're not where they were the last couple of days. They've moved quite a little ways, but they'll probably move again tomorrow and be somewhere different again tomorrow.
We'll see what we got here, Kevin Bowling. Going to get into double figures. Not quite. Right up there at the top of it, though. Here we go. 9.75 pounds.
Tomorrow's going to be a different day from what the weatherman's been saying. The cloud cover is going to move in tonight, and probably there's going to be a chance for showers. And this time of year on Table Rock, it's known for spinnerbaiting anytime it's cloudy and windy. Today there was no clouds and no wind, and the fish held pretty tight to cover. If it changes like that tomorrow, then I'll have a spinnerbait in my hand and be going out just trying to get 5 good bites.
Then comes Kelly Power.
We had a few missed opportunities on some pretty good fish, and just today, you know, it's a little tough out there. Guy had to really put your stuff together and be in the right spots, and hopefully we'll all stay close like this.
It says so far. Here we go. 3 bass. Boy, man, oh, man. Those 5 like that, and you're going to be in the running tomorrow. I guarantee you. We'll do it tomorrow, he says. You heard it here first, folks. 8.71 pounds. Go get them tomorrow. Kelly Power.
I've got an area where I'm fishing in the morning that I think I can catch a limit in, and if I can get 5 bites, they'll be better than average fish. And usually it's over by about 10:30 or 11, and then I'm coming back down lake and spending the rest of the day just following the wind around.
A short time later, Terry Thomas comes to the scales.
You've got 1. We've yet to see that big kicker fish that Table Rock's famous for. There's 2. Like I said, there's only been 3 or 4 Pro Division limits weighed in. There's 3. There's 4 times, a little bit better fish there. Barker still, oh! Woo! There's what we're looking for right there. My goodness. Oh, that may be a $1,000 fish all by itself right there. Look at this big old girl here. Here we go. 6.84 pounds. That's your big bass leader right now. Good job, sir. My goodness. Yeah, the tournament Barker was leading with 12.38. You got half of that already.
Yeah, but not much more.
Oh, yeah. They're saying, oh, yeah, we're looking here. We're looking here. Here we go. 14.82 pounds.
At the end of a dramatic first day, Terry Thomas sits atop the Quantum Pro-Am scoreboard with 14.82 pounds, giving him nearly a 2.5-pound lead over Dave Barker in second place. Close behind are James Miles, Troy Aikens, and Kevin Bowling. The rest of the top 10 is led by Jackie Davis in 6th place, with Dave Krisenberry, Larry Herndon, Mark Pitchford, and Kelly Power in hot pursuit. In the amateur division, Bob Jorgensen is the day one leader with 5.99 pounds, but it's tight all the way. And with a big second day, anybody in the field could still win this one. Jerry Weisinger's close behind in 2nd place, with Paul Loveland, Mike Smith, and Lee Owens completing the top 5. The rest of the top 10 is also tight, as barely a pound separates John Bond in 6th place from Mike Jones in 10th. We'll be right back.